The president said all budgetary requirements of the electoral body will be prioritized in the next budget so that the commission can succeed in its mandate to organize free and fair elections.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Patrick Amimo, KTN News.
Now, Jubilee top leadership and the opposition chiefs have engaged in verbal wars for the better part of the last 12 months. But the real issues that will define this year's general election are yet to become clear. Still, the ordinary Kenyans have felt deep in their pockets the heavy impact of the economic shocks during Jubilee's term in office. KTN's Timothy Otieno now brings us the real story from real people about the economy and this election.
Linda Owor owns this boutique along one of the busy streets in Nairobi's Umoja Inako. For a lady below the age of 35, an age group often regarded as forming the youth, her small-scale business is struggling to stay afloat in an economy perceived to be overbearing on its citizens. Apart from the sale of clothes, she complements her earnings by selling shoes as a mitigation mechanism. But she says still business is yet to pick up.
It's still affecting us because like you're working for the government. For us to even to raise that money, the 9,000 for a year, for a city council, yeah? And again, they're saying you have to have a fire extinguisher. That's another extra amount of money. See, and our business, this is just a small business, not a big business. For us to raise that money, that one is going for the government, then you raise this one for the rent, then what will I have at the end of the day?
It's a complaint shared by the occupants of this grocery shop just across the street. Mr. and Mrs. Nyaboga are not only life partners, but also business associates. They have been running this small-scale business for 7 years now.
Saizi kila kitu imeenda bei ngumu, si maji, si kibiriti. Kibiriti saizi ukipeana 10 bob unapatiwa vibiriti 2. Sasa unashindwa ni Kenya gani saizi?
Kwa siku tuseme ile pesa unatengeneza inaenda soko yote, unaleta nayo stock yote. Sababu wateja, uchumi ni mbaya, vitu iko bei kali, watu wanalia njaa. Sasa hata ukileta hiyo stock tena unauza ile pesa yako ambayo umenunulia.
Tuliwashinda 2013.
With election fever catching on, the economy will likely play a big role in politicians' vote-hunting escapades.
I think the philosophical divide between the two parties will be Jubilee will talk about the mega infrastructure projects. They'll talk about their flagship project. This is the standard gauge railway. And they'll tell Kenyans that it has a transformative effect on the economy, which is true. Anytime you build a railway, you build roads, you raise the profile of a country. On the other side, the opposition side will be pointing at allegations of corruption, will be pointing at allegations of increased debt to fund those mega projects. And they'll try to make a case that the country needs less debt.
And a good indicator for economic prosperity, especially around the election period, is often a country's gross domestic product. According to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, the country's GDP for 2016 grew by 5.7% compared to 6% the previous year. Despite the country experiencing relative growth over its economic status over the last 3 years, the trickle-down effect of that progress is rarely felt on the ground, like in this grocery shop in Umoja Inako, owned by Mrs. Nyaboga, who says that come August the 8th, her vote will go to that politician promising direct change to her business. President Uhuru Kenyatta, who has recently embarked on a major investor campaign to spark industrial growth among key sectors of the economy by initiating the reopening of various farms, will likely bank on the job opportunities meant to be created by assembly plants to seek for re-election. But for small-scale